Hello everyone and welcome to Investing Angles. Today markets are making a big move down and we will discuss about it in our stocks in motion. We'll start with volatility index, then we'll move to the major US indices. After that we'll evaluate S&P 500 sectors and the big stocks. After that we'll talk about Dow Jones and S&P 500 from Elliott Wave's perspective. And in the end of our quick presentation, we'll discuss what else is happening. In particularly, I'm interested in dollar index and the rates, US 10-year yield, which will have an impact on TLT. And in the end, we'll touch point on gold and silver. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel that you always know what is happening. All right, so this is the volatility. This is volatility index itself, S&P 500, and this is the volatility index futures. What we are seeing here is that the index is poised to close with a strong bullish engulfing on the index itself, and on futures it's gonna likely be an inside up candle. So this is gonna be a bullish closure if it forms the candle like this, and the chances for at least the beginning of next week to be bullish or with higher volatility would be quite normal. We'll discuss it to the better length in our weekly analysis for volatility index. Now let's move on to the indices. S&P 500, Triple Q, GIA, and IWM. What we are seeing here is that the closure will be bearish if nothing happens in the next 1 hour and a half. This is the bearish engulfing, very similar to what S&P did on January 31st, but this one will be stronger. The same thing for Nasdaq, Dow Jones. If closes like this, if it closes below the Wednesday's low, it will be a confirmation of a top on a dark cloud cover. Similar thing on IWM or Russell. The closure below Wednesday's low will be a confirmation. And I'd like to mention that IWM is losing in one shot 50-day and 100-day moving average, which are respectively blue and purple. That's going to be a significant event. Speaking about the weekly closure, the candle is still kind of bullish, but it would need to go a little lower if we are going to see a bearish candle. But we'll evaluate it at the end, see what the exact print would be and what are the implications. Tune in for our weekly update and our weekly video digest. Now let's move on and see what is happening with the sectors. So the sectors, the sea of red, everything forms a bearish candle. Financials and industrial, they are with bearish engulfing so far. Technology, the most influential one, is forming a strong bearish engulfing, and if it goes a little lower, it would be even at our top. Consumer staples breaking below the 200 days moving average and the 50-day moving average, and if you can see that these lines are about to cross, perhaps it's going to happen in the next couple of days. So this is bearish, definitely. The same thing for healthcare, and note that healthcare formed 5 days ago a 100 by 200 days moving average bearish cross. Some call it death cross. So this is a confirmation if it closes like this. Utility is kind of neutral, and well, it could hold actually and move higher next week. So this is, but utility is not as influential as the other ones. Consumer discretionary is falling, and now it has a chance to form an 8 by 20 EMA bearish cross, probably on Monday if it closes like this. Energy. Energy is trying to hold actually, and trying to form a bullish bullish sign here, but considering the technical footprint, I wouldn't be so sure about it. Now we will see. We'll need to see a very strong confirmation, bullish confirmation, if it happens on Monday. Now let's move on to the big stocks and see what is happening here. So Microsoft is bearish, definitely, and Amazon and Apple and Tesla and Google. These five are forming bearish, strong bearish candles, and this is significant. So it's their overall footprint. It's over 20 or 25% of everything. And now let's have a look at the weekly candles here. So the weekly are closing bearish expectedly for Microsoft, especially if you watched yesterday's video. No surprises here. So Tesla, let's have a look at Tesla. The weekly candle would be a confirmation here, and well, that's a big top, or probably a double top. For Apple, it's a similar story. So that we have what is a weekly candle. So this candle is negating the bullish attempt to reverse the trend. So far, this is going to be bearish. And for Google, let's have a look at Google. Google is closing the week with a strong inside out candle. So no doubts it's going to be bearish. So Nvidia is still holding. That's an interesting story, and we need to see how it closes the day to day. Technically, if it makes a bearish engulfing, it will be a reversal, at least on the daily frame. So the weekly is not, this is technically a bullish engulfing. So it had a chance to advance higher. If it closes like this, it had a chance to advance higher next week. But let's see, we still have 1 hour and a half. And Meta, we discussed Meta yesterday in our video with the projections and perspective from Elliott Waves and candles. So have a look there. It's quite an interesting story, and it is very well aligned with the formations for Google and for Amazon. All right, so now let's move on to the chart. So let's see what kind of chart is forming here. So yesterday late night we released this particular chart saying that Dow Jones broke an impulse down, and by moving below this line, and some people were skeptical, saying that all right, so that's probably another nonsense. But when it comes to the Elliott waves and their projections for the wave structure, they are irreplaceable, I would say. And this was our call yesterday, and today you can see that it's even from timing perspective, it's been perfect. So far it is moving down, and well, if nothing happens, that would be quite a strong move. My expectation would be that for the wave 3 to lose about 1.7% of after yesterday's call, but we'll see. The target is 44.3, 43.89K. That's for Dow Jones. And speaking about S&P 500, this is the chart we've been tracking for a while right now, and it is still unclear what kind of pattern it's gonna be here. It fits both purple scenario and blue scenario here. So far, the wave down is impulsive and has very good chances to extend further down. We'll monitor it, obviously, and we'll discuss it in our weekly reports and weekly videos. Now let's have a look at what else is happening. So this is the dollar index, and it looks like dollar index has a fairly good chance to form a bottom here. And if it moves a little higher, I would say on the daily frame, there is a very good chance that it will form a tower bottom. We'll see. There are still 4.5 hours to go. And speaking about the yields, this is the 12-hour yield chart, and if it closes like this, it will be a tower bottom on the 12-hour frame. However, for the daily, it still needs a little higher, but this would be a good beginning. If it closes like this with a tower top on the 12-hour frame, there is a very good chance that on Monday we will see a final tower bottom here. And speaking about TLT, TLT right now is minus 0.65, but it has a if this yield reverses here, then the TLT obviously will go down. And if you watched yesterday's video, we highlighted a very concerning candle structure on TLT for potentially forming a top. We'll try to release another video today later discussing TLT and yields. And from the perspective of dollar and yield, now let's go into precious metals. So what we are seeing here is these two big charts are silver and gold respectively. If silver closes today below yesterday's low, it will be a short-term reversal. Mark these words. And for gold, it's still unclear. It's still unclear. So it was yesterday we discussed this potential hammer or hanging man type of candle, which was also a dark cloud cover towards the previous green one. So far, it's kind of a typical attempt to reject this, and the attempt was rejected itself. Now it's moving lower. If it closes today with a red candle, and if it even falls below yesterday's low, it will be a big event. We are still watching this, and we'll discuss it in our next video about precious metals. All right, so that's been all I wanted to talk about today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and check our website investingangles.com. We are right now offering a free reader subscription for those who want to evaluate our occasional free articles. Thank you very much for watching, and let's see how the day ends today. Happy trading, everyone.